So good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Happy Oilers team call. You guys are all part of our tribe and all part of our family. So I'm really grateful for all of you that can be on live or that are maybe watching us on the replay. Each one of you are part of my family, and I look forward to seeing you guys when I either watch you on the call or on the replay or on Facebook or wherever we run into each other. And this is just another extension of that for us to share our ideas, and especially on how to promote our business and take it to the next level. If you haven't already oiled up, this is a great time to do it, using your oils to help open your mind, get new business ideas, and unblock any mental blocks that might get in your pathways on how to get to your next goal. So before we get started, I had received my ER order just a couple days ago, and I get excited about free oils, yes, but this month's ER order was amazing. I don't know if you guys have received yours yet, but I am just so stoked about it. So I just wanted to show you really quick. I know a lot of you guys are already on Essential Rewards. I don't know if you always get the 300 PV, but if you don't, this is the month to do it with the Thieves products. So, excuse me, I'm going to, just because I want to make sure I get it all in the right order. The 100 PV on ER was the orange oil. So always great. This one I love because I don't know if you guys have ever used Goo Gone, which is a petroleum-based product. This replaces your Goo Gone, and you won't need it anymore. This is a vitality oil, so you could also drink it. It's amazing in your water. It tastes delicious. I think Carrie was just talking about how she put a couple drops in her syrup. My son this week made Chinese orange chicken, a low-carb version, and the recipe called for orange extract, which I didn't have, and he put 10 drops of this in it, and even he exclaimed that it was delicious. So all the kids ate it and had a good time with it. The other one, if you have 190 PV, in addition to that orange oil, you'll also get a bottle of Thieves, which again, with the change of season, this is a great thing to keep on hand. I love diffusing this. It's also really great to add to any other homemade cleaning products you make. But Thieves is, I mean, we never, ever don't need Thieves. And with that, you'll also get, wait, I just set it down. You'll also get the bottle of the Thieves dish soap. If you guys haven't had this yet, I used to buy the 7th generation stuff or the EcoVare, and it costs just as much as this one did. And I feel like this lasts twice as long, mostly because it's super concentrated. I'll put it in like my scrubby brush and then add water to fill up the other half. I get a lot of use out of this one. And now it's free this month. And then the 250 PV was the Thieves hand soap. Put this at the bathroom closest to the door when you walk into the house. Don't bring all the outside germs in. And I'm not a germaphobe, but I have kids and they touch everything everywhere we go. So it's like you come in the house and just wash your hands. Even when we're home, I don't make them. I'm not insane about washing your hands. But when we come in the house from being outside and you've touched everything and played with other kids and the toys and the shaking hands, wash your hands. And you also get a bottle of the Thieves fruit and veggie soap, which is pretty darn awesome. I remember, side note, Gary Gunn talking about Digize oil and how they would spray the fields with it. And they found that it had completely eradicated the fields of several of the pesticides that had been sprayed on it prior to them using it, not to them spraying it. They weren't doing that, but they were doing the test to see if they can get rid of it. And this has Digize oil in it. So the advantage then for you using it is, of course, putting it on your own produce and reducing any of the pesticide exposure for your family, which is, I mean, you want to talk about starting at gut health from the root causes. I believe that's glyphosate and all these other chemicals that are in it. So free bottle of these this month for the 250 order. And then at 300 PV, not only do you get Thieves Cleaner, which you can never have enough of, you'll also get a bottle of Kinzia, which is amazing. This is a good one to diffuse too, but be careful, it comes out like water. It comes out super fast. And then I don't know if you guys got these, but they are the cutest ever. I love them. I was thinking they would be like a regular microfiber rag, but they feel like velvet. and they scrub amazing. So I scrubbed my stainless steel with it, and it was squeaking by the time I was done. I had to go back and like get all the streaks and things. It was perfect. I got it all off. So I thought they were pretty great. I had to brag on them just for that reason. We don't usually go over the PV, but this month I was so excited about it. I thought nobody would mind because it was kind of awesome to see all those goodies come in. I got, of course, my bottles of Thyromin, and I got my multigrains and the supplements I usually get. And most of the box was the free stuff I got. It was awesome. So one of the things that we had talked about, Julie and I, that we thought would help with some of the team growth, I was going to ask about the cleaning towels, said Carrie, and now you got a chance to see them. So yeah, was just how we can expand our vision, how we can find our own niche in our business, and how we can push through and keep going. So that was part of the reason I wanted to put my Envision oil on today. I hope you guys were able to as well. But speaking of finding our niche, a lot of times we get confused. We're like, what does that mean? What does that mean for me? There have been other really great calls on that, finding our voice. There's been great calls that have been repeated efforts on like what Lindsay Elmore has talked about and Lindsay Moreno has talked about, and finding the 10 words to describe ourselves. And in some ways, that's what I mean. But I mean more than that. It's not just finding your brand or who you are. It's not just a mission to find yourself in this business. But what I'm saying is look for the things that excite you in this. And those are the things that you should be promoting. My mom and I, as we were discussing the topic, we spoke up, for example, with Monica. Monica has loved from the very start. I say Monica's name, you guys already know what product I'm going to mention because you already know what she loves. She loves Ningxia Red. I see some of you mouthing it. Your lips are moving to what I'm saying. She loves Ningxia Red, and she looks for the classes on it. She's used the ones from Vital 180, added some of her own slides in on information that she's found interesting. She will do Instagram live classes, and she's done Facebook classes. And I speak about her as an example because so clearly we can identify the things that she has found her niche on. That doesn't mean she doesn't talk about the other products and the other things that are going on, but her passion in that, with regarding the product of Ningxia Red, you could see it with her. You could see that she's passionate about that. And so when she talks about it, she's attracting other people with that passion. And so I see that with some of you. My friend Amy Zach, she's not on the call, so I hate to pick on her too, but with Amy, she's always been very attracted by the emotional oils. And anytime Amy and I have done a vendor event or done a party, it always ends up coming back to that, because when the floor is open and when all the rest falls away, that's what's interesting to her. That's where her passion lies in this, is the emotional oils. And I think that you guys could probably tune into each one of yourselves and think, what is it that I'm most passionate about? And that doesn't mean, again, that you can't pay attention to all the rest of the products. But I think when you have that niche, that you really can drive home, you can drive your entire business based on that part that interests you. So you guys know that I love using social media as my outlet. Oh, it looks like, oh, Julie came on. She says, you're not picking on them. You're complimenting them for their passion and their niche or niche. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And each one of you guys have done that. Dana has hers in the beauty products, not just in using Young Living Saving minerals and the products that relate to skincare, but she's taken it a step further and developed it in writing a book. And when she draws people in, and when she's most passionate, and you could see it, Dana, I don't know if she's even on the call now. I could see Anthony in the video, but my take on Dana is that she's kind of quiet, a little demure, but you let her open the floor to that, and she opens up. She comes out of her shell. She has no trouble talking about it. She gets excited about it. She's found her niche there. Tashina, you guys, I'm sure as we say everybody's names, a thing comes to your mind. Tashina, it's usually fitness that comes to your mind. She loves fitness. Marlene Rankin. You think of her, you think of, at least I do, products relating to kids. She's a mom with homeschooling mom with a bunch of littles. Excuse me, now I'm talking too much. And so when she talks and does her live videos each week, there's a lot related to the kids. She also does a lot related to feeling empowered, a lot related to stepping out of her comfort zone, because for her, it's been an emotional journey too, to push past her roadblocks. And so, and I love it. And as I point out each one of you guys in the niches that you found, you'll notice that they talk about it outside of Young Living as well, in so many of their videos and their posts. And all of you that are on this call, you might not all be on Facebook or another form of social media, but in general, you're encountering people every single day, and you're finding that these are the things that you're prone to talking about. And maybe 80% of the time it's not about Young Living, but 20% of the time at least it's going to be supplementing with these Young Living things, because that it relates to all those areas of your life. So I really feel like finding your niche is going to be really important to helping drive your business. And not only that, we talked about how, my mom and I talked about how it transcends then the stoppers that you're going to face in your business, because you're passionate about not just a product, but a subject or something that you're learning or something that you're passionate about is going to transcend that, because it's not just about selling an item. It's about sharing something you love. So Dana is going to talk about skincare, whether it's within the realm of Young Living or outside of that, because it's something that she gets really excited about. And not just skincare, but skincare related to, she talks about her son and the eczema he's had and what it's taught her in general about diet and drinking clean water and the products that they use in their family. So it really is going to go beyond that. And I love watching her daily videos as she does her walks. And it even transcends into her movement and the empowerment that she's feeling in her own life. And then it's going to drive you past those blocks that you're facing. So somebody tells you no, or turns down the class, or doesn't show up for a class, or you're sitting there all by yourself and it's not the first time, then you're going to need that passion to push you beyond that. You're going to need to know that in your heart, it's not just about the one person that came or said no or didn't come, or, you know, whatever their response was, that your passion for that is going to push you on to find the other people as well that are interested. And I really feel like that was something that's helped me in my business as well. It's not just about the yeses. It's also about the nos. It's no, and it's not right now, but it's going to help us move past that. Julie says that is so true. Carrie says your plans can change, but your purpose does not. That's exactly right, Carrie. And you'll find that as you go along, you might think that this path, you know, you just enrolled the perfect person and they are excited and they're getting started, or I just enrolled this chiropractor and we're going to have oily classes. And you might feel like that's going to be your new direction. And sometimes it doesn't always work out. Sometimes it does, and that's great. And sometimes it doesn't always work out. And that's all right too, because it doesn't change what you're going to do, what your purpose is, and what you're driven to do. You just find another outlet for it. So I think that in our discussion, I would love, rather than me to tell you more about niches and finding your passion and pushing past that, but I'd rather hear some of your personal experiences, or maybe your feelings of not quite meeting that point. You don't feel that passion yet. Some of you aren't there, and I want to hear that. I feel like we need to discuss the more raw, real feelings that come along with this business. Sometimes we're not sure what our passion is. We don't realize the things that we're talking about, and our friends do. So I'd love to hear from any of you guys if you feel like you're not sure what your niche is, where that niche might take you. You might think, well, how do I make this work for my business? And if you're facing some specific roadblocks, how to push past that. I'm going to look while you guys, I'm going to wait for somebody to come off mute and tell me what their passion is or what they feel like their niche is. And I'm going to look and see who's on this call. I might call some of you out if you don't volunteer. Let's see, who wants to tell me what they feel like their niche is? I think I've picked on Tashina and Dana. We kind of know what theirs is, but the rest of you, and I don't want to put Dana on the spot because I don't think she's at her computer right at the moment anyways. Let's see, who am I going to pick on, Melissa? I'm going to pick on you again. She just smiles. What's your niche? Tell me what you feel like your thing is.
I think for me, one of the biggest things was when I first started using the oils was grounding. The grounding that I got from the oils that really calmed me, that really focused me, that really made me feel at peace. Mm-hmm. I think frankincense really did that for me. Frankincense was one of those things that from the get-go, I just knew that I loved it. So for me, knowing that there's so many people who are stressed out and anxious and all that kind of stuff, who need the emotional support, because everybody has something going on these days. So I think realizing that these oils can provide support for those body systems, I think that can go a long way. The other thing is the Thieves line. There's so many chemicals out there these days. I think that a lot of younger people and older people, but focusing more on my age group, I guess, because there's a lot of coworkers at work that are having babies that, you really want to encourage to be healthy and stay away from the chemicals. So Thieves, I think for me, I know my husband really loves Thieves. He said, if anything, I think you should focus on Thieves. Still trying to get him to come around to the oils, of course, but he really likes Thieves. He really does. So yeah, there's a number of different things, I guess, that I could kind of focus on more. And I'm glad that you brought that topic up because it is true. If you find what you're passionate about, I think that, you your roadblocks, and I think you can, it's like, I guess my job as a nurse, helping people. I really like helping people. So if I find something with Young Living, which involves helping people and what products I'm passionate about, then sure, I think that I can actually be more motivated and see a clearer focus. So thank you for choosing this topic. It's great.
No, it's not a problem. And you brought up the grounding oils. So there are some classes that you could do specifically on that. I'm not sure that Vita 180 offers one specifically on that, but I've seen others written, and you could talk to some of the Tashina or Julie. And I know that, or even Amber, I feel like they've recently done an oils and emotions class. But as far as Thieves goes, there is specifically a Thieves class and a lot of free handouts and things related to it on our team's website, Vita 180, which are beautiful and professionally assembled in ways that, it's like it would cost us a ton to hire a graphic designer to do them. And I feel like they give us that air of professionalism along with it. So that's always a nice option to have there for you as well. Have you done a class on Thieves yet?
I have not, but that's definitely a great idea. Great idea to look into, especially with the Vita 180 slides. So I think I'll definitely have a peek at that. Cause I mean, it's spring too, right? So it's time to get on that. Like Julie was saying, I know we're doing that in May, but I mean, you can really start talking about it anytime.
Absolutely. You don't have to wait till May to host a class in Canada on Thieves. And I do appreciate how the slides are put together. It makes it pretty easy. I almost feel like with the slides, if you flip through it once, you know the information because it's all stuff you already know. So it's not like it's going to take rehearsal after rehearsal for you to prepare it. It's information that you know, and it'll be easy enough for you guys to share that. I love that. And I look forward to hearing about your Thieves class that you do.
Thanks so much.
Do you have any personal roadblocks that you feel like would prevent you from making that leap?
I don't know. Facebook Lives, it's something that I have to conquer. Just with you doing your live tonight, do you have a laptop in front of you or a camera, or because I'm using my phone right now, so obviously I want to be more like how you're positioned. I guess you must be using a laptop or something.
I am using a laptop. I could probably do the same thing from my phone, just find something to prop it up against. I'm sitting in the guest bedroom in my basement. It's like my sauna there. There's a TV. Literally, I'm sitting on the floor, and I found a stool that was at the right height to set it on. And I just grabbed the laptop because it's a bigger screen. I feel like it's a little easier for the Zoom call setting. All the Facebook Lives I've ever done have been from my phone.
Okay.
So I don't think it really requires special equipment. I do think it helps if you want a few tips for going live. And I think if you don't have an audience, like a class already scheduled, there is no harm to doing a Facebook Live on something you're passionate about. I do think it helps to have lighting that at least illuminates your face. If you could get it so that it comes this way at your face. Right now I have it more overhead, so it ends up being some odd shadows, but it's not terrible. You know, so usually good lighting coming at your face really helps people to focus on you, and it doesn't hurt at that time to, brush your hair and put some savvy lip gloss on or something. I mean, that's about it. I don't usually do more than that. I don't have any more makeup on than I had on earlier, and I don't even have lipstick on anymore. So I feel like people want to see you real and raw. You don't have to make it. I mean, there are those that do. Leanna does gorgeous videos, and she matches her shirt, and her hair is perfect, and her makeup's perfect, and she's gorgeous. But that's part of who she is too. And I'm not trying to knock her when I say that, but she's always well put together. I'm ragged and haggard most of the time, and that's just half of who I am. And so sometimes my lives are clearly me being an exhausted mom, and I feel like if I would have gone and run and put makeup on, it might have looked prettier, but it wouldn't have been true.
Well, and I think it's more relatable too.
It is. It absolutely is. So I don't think that it really requires that. Good lighting, I think, is really helpful. Besides that, if the light comes straight at your face, you have less under eye bags. Just a little tip there.
Sounds good. Thank you.
But you wear glasses, so you can't see yours, but on mine you can.
I try to hide them.
Well, when you do your Facebook Live, make sure I get tagged in it so I can watch you.
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pick on, let's see, Karen. Can I pick on you? You don't have your camera on. Can I pick on you?
Yeah, you can pick on me. I'm just going to be talking because I'm still driving back from the expo. So
I figured it would be good to pick on you because I feel like you've already found your niche too. And so I want you to kind of explain. I don't know if everybody knows where you were this weekend. So tell them where you were.
I was at Cobo Hall. So it's a very large venue, and there was a Naturalista expo that was there. So it was a 2-day event. And I was there for a vendor event, and that's what I did. I just went there and I introduced people to the oils and whatnot. Dana was actually there with her book too, which was awesome. So I actually had some friends already there, so it was nice.
Yay! What prompted you to get into doing vendor events?
So a lot of people say they can't handle people. I love people. So I get my energy from being around other people. So if you put me in a room or if you put me in my house by myself for a little while, I'm not going to get enough energy off of that. So I really do need to be around people. And the other thing is I've already gone through a lot of my close contacts and whatnot. So I wanted to reach more people because these oils absolutely changed my life, right? And I know a lot of people say that, but they do. I mean, like, I'm in a whole different health I'm more conscientious of what I'm putting in my body, and I'm also more conscientious of what's going on in my household. I mean, it's completely changed my life from going from a starter kit to the thieves to the ninja. I mean, like, so there's lots of different things that have changed my life, and I just want to introduce that to other people. I mean, I'm just so passionate about trying to tell people there's just a better way to take care of yourself. So
Yeah. You know what, I appreciate that about you, because you come from a nursing background, and it was not, you haven't always been natural minded, have you? It's kind of been a conversion over the years.
yes, it's been a very it's been a conversion. I was like into like the whole organics and what's really in my toothpaste kind of thing, but I never really knew about the neurotoxins or the endocrine whatever. I've been talking all day, so
I'm sorry.
that's all right. The endocrine disruptors, like I didn't realize those things.
Yeah.
And then when you get rid of those out of your house, and now you can't go down the laundry soap aisle because you're just like, whoa, this is too much. You really realize how toxic your body was, right? And so when you see the huge change, and like for me, I saw a huge change in my son. And it wasn't me that saw it, it was actually his teacher that saw it as well. So when other people are telling you that, whoa, what are you doing and what's helping your family? And you're like, oh, I got rid of all the toxins, started diffusing frankincense, started, making sure that he's drinking all his water. Like, yeah, I mean, that was the huge thing. So it was a slower conversion for me. So there's even one I just got rid of. What was it? It was a cleaner, not a cleaner. It was a product that I had just gotten rid of. Oh, it was a hair thing. My hair supply or whatever. Supply. That's weird. My hair product. Thank you. My hair product. Like I just got rid of it because I don't use a lot of it. And so now I finally switched that over. So it has been a slower process, but it was huge eye-opening too.
Right. But I think that's great. And I think that one of the key things that you hit on as far as your passion goes, which is often the motivation for many of us, is something with one of our family members, somebody we care about really deeply. For you, it was your son. Sometimes it's our husband. Sometimes it's a parent, somebody that we're helping to take care of. I don't know if you could hear it. I have a kid knocking on the door. It's very distracting. But that's usually a really strong reason for us to be motivated to share it with others. There's a roadblock that you have had along the way, and you brought it up as one of the reasons why you do the expos. When you first came on with Young Living, one of your best friends and coworkers was already in the business. It was already working it. It was already talking to these people. So in an effort, not just because you love people, but an effort to not step on each other's toes and to move forward with your business in a different direction, you did what? Did I put you on the spot? Maybe she cut out. She started doing expos. She started doing vendor events. She would do local fairs and things. And it's been great because Marlene and her have been besties for years. So I don't need to put them on the spot, but they had to figure out a way where they could work the business without crossing over too many paths. They had a lot of shared friends and acquaintances that they had known for years, all the way back to, I think, right after they had gotten out of school. So it was a great way for them each to kind of find their own niche. Karen loves the people, and she likes being at those events where she can talk herself literally out by the end of the day. Whereas Marlene, she posted a picture earlier this week about her teaching in front of a class. And that really fits her personality in a whole different way as a teacher, rather than Karen, I would say, likes the party atmosphere of it, to have the people and get an environment like that going. And I don't think either one of them would tell me I'm wrong. So I feel like I'm not putting them too much on the spot there. But so Karen, what is some of the things that you have coming up And if I was wrong, you could correct me on any of those things. Some of the things that you have coming up along those lines with your niche.
Yeah, so I have like I said, I have vendor events and I absolutely love them. I have one this upcoming weekend, and here's what's the coolest thing. So when you find your niche and you start doing what you need to do, other people are going to be attracted to that and they're going to want to do the same thing. So for right now, my one of the actually two people within 1 week came to me and said, now they've been in the business for a very long time. One of them I did meet at a vendor event, another one I did meet at work. And they came to me the same exact week and said, hey, I'm interested in doing this vendor event. Would you do it with me? And you know how much my heart just like leaped? Like I was so excited that they have seen what the products have done. They absolutely love Young Living. They've been on ER for years. And now they're like, I want to actually pursue this as a business, and I want to actually reach out and start helping people. Right? So with that, I have a lot of vendor events that I actually haven't even booked, which is awesome. And other people have, so I'm kind of helping them. Like this weekend, one of my very good friends now, Gina, it was her first vendor event, actually vending. So she did really, really well. I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her. At first, she's just like, I can't even talk to these people. And the next thing I know, she's talking to the people. She's getting contacts. She met one of the, really, I don't know. She's like, come here right now. Do you know who this person was that I just talked to? And I'm like, I have no clue who you're talking about. She's like, this person has a huge following, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. So it's really cool to see other people blossom in the area that you love and even outside of that as well. Right. So,
and how did you meet Gina?
Oh, at the Farmington Founders Festival.
At another vendor event. It was great. I remember sitting down with her after that and Nate, her husband, and they were excited. They're like, okay, tell us how this works. So I'm really happy to hear that she was there with you.
Yeah, it was. And the coolest thing too is I'm raising a son right now, and we've taught him that strangers are friends you just haven't met yet. Mm-hmm. You can't go anywhere with a stranger, right? You can't do anything from a stranger. But I think we're always fearful of another person. But in all honesty, Gina, I met her 2 years ago, complete stranger, and now she's one of my really, really close friends. And I mean, I know a lot of stuff, and she knows a lot of stuff about me too. And it's just really cool to see how when you do get yourself out there and you do start meeting new people, how they're going to ultimately affect your life, and you get to affect them too. So
awesome. That's awesome. I really appreciate you sharing that, Karen. We're running out of time. I know that we like to keep the call brief. We have about 5 more minutes if one more person wants to either share what they feel their niche is or ask what others might see theirs as, or maybe they just don't know. I'd love for another volunteer. If not, you will be called on. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. Is Jenny waving at me? Go ahead, Jenny. Unmute yourself if you want to talk.
Well, I kind of don't know what my niche, however you say that word, is. So what do you think it is?
What do I think it is? Well, let me think. Anybody else want to pipe? Yeah, and if anybody else wants to pipe in, I only know you based on a few things. What I see on social media and the few conversations we've had together, right? I mean, seriously, the vacation we had together, really. It was a vacation we had together. So if I had to go based on that, so forgive me if I missed something, besides the obvious things, your close relationship with God and your love for your family, The other things that I would point out is if I were to look through your Facebook feed, you have a huge, like disproportionate amount of pictures, one of Mount Rainier. Did I say that right? And wildlife, and your boys playing in the river, and your boys playing in the mud, and, you know, the just gorgeous nature of Washington State, Oregon State. Where Seattle's in
Washington.
Washington, yeah.
Washington.
Yeah. See, I don't know my geography, but yeah, you're way out there. So, and it's gorgeous. And for me, and really, I mean, half the population of this country is like in the Eastern time zone. So for other people to see that, I think it's attractive and it draws them to you. And you'll have beautiful pictures of flowers, and you'll post quotes over top of them. And I think it speaks a lot about your personality. And I actually think that that's one of the things that you can build on from there, because your love for nature is part of what's drawn you to Young Living. You appreciate the environment. You don't want items that are going to damage it. Thieves products are a natural extension of that. It's one of the reasons I would assume that you like to use those products, is because they're healthy for the environment and for your family. Essential oils, which come from those plants, some of them, which are native to that side of the country, you know, are things that you could, and Carrie, who's on this call, I think that's something she built on well, is picking things that are native to her area, and I don't want to say exploiting it, but exploiting that, telling other people about it, using that as an opportunity to not just tell about something that you're passionate about, but extension there into Young Living as well. There's been a few comments. Carrie says, I think Jenny should get into the ULA books and go with that. She would do really well with that, because I actually think that it works with some of the other areas that she's passionate about. So faith, family, fun. I don't know if you've ever smelled the Friends oil, but it smells like camping. And I picture in my mind that the whole state of Washington probably smells like that oil, you know? So it would be a really good extension of that. She might enjoy that as well and feel passionate about it. Julie says her life and life so not to damage the beauty around her. Exactly. That you can use that as an extension of you. And you might not have seen that as something that others perceive about you, or that it's so integral to who you are, you might not have realized that it exudes as such a big part of you, but it really does. Your love for nature. Carrie says,
I do
Jenny
love a lot.
plus photos equals ULA. And Mom says I missed her first sentence, because of the natural life and love for nature, kicking chemicals out of her life, and life sows that to damage the beauty around her. I got that, Julie. I think I said it right that time. But you take great pictures, so it would work. You're right, Carrie. I could see how you say that as an extension with the pictures as well. So does that help, Jenny? Did you even see that as something that fit in with your business?
Kind of, but not. Oh, yeah. Be sure to brand and watermark. Monica always tells me that, because I didn't originally, but I need to put, like my website on there or whatever. I need to, I just feel kind of scatterbrained, and like a lot of stuff's popping up on my memories. Last year, I did my first vendor event, which I really liked, and I did my first class, and I really haven't done much since then, so I need to get refocused. And kind of like Karen said, I like people too, but I also like people with me to do things. And so that's kind of what I'm running into here, where like my friend Autumn was going to start joining me, but now she's kind of not. And I just like having someone with me to do the classes and things till I get going, till I feel more comfortable. But anyways, so I just need to get on track.
So, you know,
it's me.
Two things that occur to me there is, one, in Karen's example, and I know that was a struggle with her in the beginning too. I did some vendor events, and she would pull some of her upline in to do that. And I know that's harder for you, being all the way on the coast by yourself. And I know in a lot of cases she worked alone, but in the example she just brought up, the person she took with her to the last vendor event was somebody she had found at a previous vendor event. So part of it is the mantra from Field of Dreams, right? If you build it, they will come. So
Yeah.
part of it is just finding that river of where the vendor events are, because that was one of, I know, Karen's battles initially was, okay, how do I find more of these? And then once you kind of get into that stream of doing them, you know, you'll find the people that will want to work with you in doing them as well. People with similar personalities to you. I think you and me have a similar personality in Karen. We've got that kind of
when you did a class one time. Well, that was one of my first online classes, and it was fun.
Right.
And it was like, I can do it if I do it with someone.
Yes.
Like with someone, I'm fine. But you know, I just
right. Well, I think there's probably not one person on this call right now that wouldn't love to do it with you, because even if it's somebody that's cross-line to you, you would bring just various personalities to you. You guys would all kind of interplay with each other. So it would be a lot of fun. No, and I mean online. And that's maybe not the preference, but it's a way to get things going, and it still drums up interest. There's always somebody watching.
I know, Julie.
You ended up signing somebody up from that class, didn't you?
Yes. Well, yeah, one of my, she orders every month, but I barely ever talk to her, but yeah, she's on ER and orders every month from the class. Yeah.
But that was just one. And
I have another one that ordered a kit from the expo, and she's going to go inactive. I have to talk to her.
Yeah. Never get you a running mate. Take your mom, Julie says.
Yeah.
I might have missed
my mom goes a little bit, but she's just not as into it as me, you know, like I have to put the oils on her and stuff. She does take Life 9 and she does take CardioGize. Yeah. She's not as into oils, so.
But she might be fun to drag along to your vendor event just to have somebody else there with you.
Jared actually did really good when he went with me.
Well, there you go.
Jared
That's a start too.
He won't go to convention with me again, though.
No.
Yes, a person next to in the chair is support. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Autumn would probably go with me if I did them, but if she could.
Yeah. Right.
Because Autumn loves all her stuff too.
The hardest part is the first step, and that's booking it. So I look for,
that's why I just did
it. Just
yeah, I need to get brave and do that again. Bye, Karen. I love Karen and Marlene too. It was so fun to meet them and hang out with them at convention and everything.
Yeah, it really was. They're awesome.
Marlene's actually helped me a lot with the John Maxwell stuff too.
Good. And with that, I'm sure each week you set goals. So set yourself the goal, because you know you enjoy doing the events. It's a little hard to get over that hump of going alone. It's hard for all of us, I promise. I'd rather have somebody sitting right here next to me that we could kibitz off of back and forth while we talk to you guys. It would make this so much easier. But I think that once you get over that initial hurdle of it, you'll find a running mate in doing it. It'll make it a little easier for you to keep going. Make that your goal, is finding somebody like you to keep doing these with you. And tell people that at these events, I'm looking for somebody to do this with me. I have a great time doing this, but it's so much more fun with somebody. You're going to find somebody that wants to jump on board. I just see doubt in your face. No. Carrie agrees. You're getting thumbs up. I see nods from Tashina. So, all right. So we're getting down to the last few minutes, and I really appreciate each one of you for coming on. I know it's a little harder when there's nothing for you to prepare and you're being put on the spot, but I feel like the stories from each one of you guys doing this every week really are powerful for the others listening in that maybe didn't get a chance to contribute. And everybody's situation's a little bit different. From, the nursing background of Melissa and just getting started building up her classes and learning how to teach with thieves, to Jenny, who's done a vendor event and has done a class and would like to do more, to Karen, who's out there kicking butt at the vendors events. So each one of you guys have something different to offer, and I really appreciate you sharing your experiences. And some of it, the raw, I don't know what to do, I'm not sure how to take it, and then building from there. I really think that those are valuable experiences that each one of you share. Tashina, I don't know if you would mind if I could pass it back to you. You usually have a list of upcoming events that we could share with the team. Do you have that available for us to, did you want me to just click on it and look at or speak about it? I know you're still on mute. I don't know, it's up to you.
No, it was just taking a couple seconds to come off of mute.
Oh, no, that's okay.
So yeah, the first thing though is for everybody that's interested, if they choose to, we did, you know, I've been talking to everybody on the side. Like I was talking to Melissa, I was talking to Karen, I was talking to Marlene. And one of the things Marlene wanted to really do was go through strength finders together as a team, because we thought, because I did a training in the fall on that, like in a group setting with individuals. And we created like our personal statement. And I think it's something that I say to myself every morning. And I think it goes along with what we're talking about right now. I think the more that you think within and know what your strengths are and can focus on that, it helps you to project that more. So if you don't have the book, if you guys choose to listen to the audio or get it from Amazon, then a month from now, like 5 weeks from now, we're going to go over there and try to help people work through a personal statement for that. So that's the first thing. And then tomorrow or Tuesday, for our Spanish speaking people that are watching the replay or on, I'm doing the home detox class, and I'm actually doing the one from YL Central, all in Spanish. So everything is actually in Spanish. For those that are here in the Michigan area, on Saturday, we're having a Spring Breathe Easy class in Clawson, Michigan. And then April 2nd we're going to do the home detox in person. So we had that already in Heartland. Now we're going to have it in Bloomfield Hills. So all of the leaders on the team that know that people need classes are collaborating on a regular basis to make sure there is a class weekly. So again, for those of you guys that need online classes, we're having monthly Facebook classes. Marlene is committed to having her her Zoom classes once a month. We're going to be on the west side. Karen and Marlene are doing at the Heartland Bigby on a monthly basis. We're on the south side in Dearborn. We're on the, you know, more east side with Bloomfield Hills. So, and again, for those that aren't here in Michigan, we're making sure that we have at least one English and Spanish per month. So there's plenty of stuff for people to plug into. Invite your 50 people, get some tips, write them down. And then next week, we're going to go over all the tools that we have. So we're going to review again what's in YL Central, what's in Vital 180, Marlene or Karen and those, possibly Monica, whoever used Grow Workspace. I don't know Grow Workspace. I don't use that. You know, Oil Revolution Design. So giving people the tools to empower themselves to go out there and keep sharing with what we have.
That's great, Tashina. I really appreciate you sharing the upcoming classes, and those are really great resources. One thing I wanted to state earlier on in the call, and I apologize that I'm waiting till the end. I hope all of you guys get to hear this, but I know it was posted on Facebook, but Dana, once again, got the Help 5 award. And I know part of that is the consistency that you guys have had in doing these classes. Yeah. And this isn't the first time. I know she's been doing really great lately and hitting that almost every month now coming up. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her, because I really feel like it's the consistency, and I know Tashina as her silver upline too has been very diligent about making sure there's always something in the area for either her or Dana or any Bananas Teams people to plug into, either locally or anywhere in the world. Even the pursuit you've made in getting making things available for the Spanish community has been great as well, Tashina. But I thought Dana deserves some props for that, because I thought that was pretty darn awesome that she got the Help 5 award again. So that's all I had for this week. Was there anything else that needed to be stated before we sign off? Nope, we're good. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys once again for coming on the call, and we will see you all throughout the week. And I look forward to the calls coming up next week. I know Tashina just posted a schedule, so we have a lot to look forward to in the coming weeks with that. So it sounds good. Until next Sunday, good night, everybody.